In 2002, TLC's Lisa "Left Eye" Lopez traveled to the jungles of Honduras to film a 30-day spiritual documentary. She never made it home. But the footage she recorded in her final weeks captured a terrifying sequence of events, leading many to believe she knew exactly what was coming. Lisa was at the peak of her fame, but during the trip, her mood shifted dramatically. In the surviving tapes, later released as The Last Days of Left Eye, she openly struggles with unrelenting dark premonitions. She tells the camera she feels a heavy, ominous spirit stalking her, explicitly stating that something is trying to kill her. Then, the premonition seemingly struck the wrong target. Just weeks before her own death, a van driven by Lisa's personal assistant accidentally struck and killed a 10-year-old Honduran boy named Bayron, who had stepped onto the highway. Lisa was devastated. In the documentary footage, she tearfully theorizes that the dark spirit following her had made a mistake, taking the child's life instead of her own. She bought the boy's family a coffin and paid for his medical bills, but she couldn't shake the feeling that her time was up. On day 27 of the trip, Lisa was driving a rented SUV. Attempting to pass a car, she swerved to avoid an oncoming truck. The vehicle flipped multiple times. Out of the 9 people in the car, Lisa, the only one not wearing a seatbelt, was the only fatality. Was it just reckless driving on a dangerous road? Or did Lisa Lopez actually document her own inescapable fate on camera? Let me know your theory in the comments.
You all know I don't start my day off with 2 things: standing for what I believe in and a strong cup of coffee that does the same. That's why I drink Blackout Coffee, a 100% American company that's unapologetic, poetic, pro 2A, and anti-woke. They don't just roast incredible coffee, they stand for the very values this country was built on: God, family, and freedom. Every bag is roasted right here in Florida and shipped straight to your door. No conflict garbage, no virtual signal, just real coffee for Americans. If you're like me and need to hit the ground running, try their morning repo. Medium roast is bold, smooth, and kicks like a mule. Or if you into something darker like Funding Father Dog, grab their 1776 blend. It's rich, fearless, and roast to perfection. Support a company that actually gives a damn about this country. Go to blackoutcoffee.com, Rumble, and use the code RUMBLE for 20% off for your first order. Blackout Coffee. Wake up, stand up, and never back down.
Alright, I just gotta tell you that I had a real frightening dream last night. I dreamed that I woke up and I looked at the sun and it was like 1/4 of the size of the earth. That's how big it was. And you know what? I asked you. I said, Kurt, is that the sun? Because it almost looked like the moon, but it was bigger than you've ever seen the moon or the sun or anything before. And he said, yeah, that's the sun. We're in trouble.
If you can see it in your head, if you can picture it, if it's clear, you know what I'm saying? Then it is a possibility. If you believe in it, it's already happened. You just haven't gotten there yet. So, you have to learn how to recognize things, you know what I'm saying? And you just have to know what road to take to get to your final destination. Because a thought, just a thought form can manifest itself into physical form. You know, so it's all about believing in yourself, believing in what you do, being able to see it, knowing how to get there, living it, and trust me, it'll happen. Ask and ye shall receive. That is a very true thing. You know,
There was this girl. They used to call her Nikki. Every time I got drunk, this girl named Nikki would show up. When I got drunk, I was just a different person. I was just somebody that people was just like, man, that ain't Lisa, that's Nikki. And all of a sudden, whenever there was something that happened that Lisa didn't want to take the blame for, she blamed it on Nikki. And this is a totally different person than Lisa. And then, when these two started to battle it out, I had to create a third person to come in and you know, straighten the two of them out. My evil twin who came from within, whom I blame all my sins on. I say the problems that I did have stemmed from what I was doing. I was creating all these different...
In 1994, a member of one of the best-selling girl groups of all time burned down her boyfriend's $1.3 million mansion. 8 years later, she was dead. This is the complicated true story behind Lisa. Left Eye Lopez. Lopez co-founded TLC in 1991, and by 1994, the group's album Crazy Sexy Cool had sold over 11 million copies. Offstage, she was in a relationship with Atlanta Falcons receiver Andre Rison that turned volatile almost immediately. Around 6 months in, according to Paper Magazine's account, the two got into a parking lot argument where Rison allegedly assaulted her and fired a gun to scare off bystanders. He was arrested, but charges were later dropped, and Rison has denied ever abusing her. Then came June 8, 1994. Rison came home in the early morning after a night out. According to Rison's own account to People magazine, an argument escalated. He says Lopez struck him repeatedly. He slapped her back, claiming self-defense. Afterward, Lopez set fire to a pile of his new sneakers in the bathtub. The fire spread. By morning, his mansion was gone. She pleaded guilty to arson. Her sentence, a halfway house, 5 years probation, rehab, and a $10,000 fine. Debt that helped push TLC into bankruptcy the following year. Here's the part most people don't expect. Rison forgave her. At her sentencing, he held her hand in court. They got back together, broke up, got back together again, and reportedly discussed marriage before finally splitting for good. On April 25, 2002, Lopez died in a car crash in La Ceiba, Honduras, at age 30, during a trip connected to spiritual and charity work. What most coverage left out just weeks earlier, according to a retrospective from All That's Interesting, she'd been riding in a van that fatally struck a 10-year-old boy, a tragedy that happened before her own death, not after, and one she reportedly carried heavily in her final days. Lisa Lopez wasn't a clean victim, and she wasn't a clean villain either. She survived an allegedly abusive relationship, made a genuinely destructive choice of her own, and died young while trying, by most accounts, to do some good in the world. So here's the debate. Does the arson complicate how we should remember her, or does context matter more than the headline? Argue it out below. Like this, if TLC shaped your childhood, share it so people know the full story behind No Scrubs, and follow Black History Unfiltered, because the real story is always messier than the highlight reel.
Lisa met a few friends when she was, after the burning of the house and everything, she was in a little trouble. She was at this little center.
Oh, Lisa.
And she met some tough girls. They were big. No, I'm serious, like way bigger than you, like huge. Like you would almost think they were like dudes, but they were girls. So, we didn't have any plaques. We didn't have nothing. So we instructed the girls. We said, all right, we're gonna go up to Ersa, and I said, we're gonna call in. I said, I'm gonna do the talking. And because, Julie's a sweet one. But anyway, so, and we told the girls, when we go there, go on every floor. I can't remember how many floors there were at Ersa at the time. And we said anything that says TLC, from the plaque to a regular poster. We don't care what it is. Get it and go and put it in the limo. We had already talked to the limo driver. He was ready. He walked into Clive's office. Puffy was in there playing his. That's when he was Puffy, playing his music and stuff. And so we walk in, and of course everybody's like friendly and ready to say hello. And Tion's cousin walks over. At the time, it was a tape. Stops the tape, gives it to Puffy and says, TLC's got a meeting with Clive and you got to go. Your meeting's over. And Tough Puffy is like, he didn't put up a fuss or nothing, but he was confused, of course. And so
what's funny is he told me the exact same story from him. His perspective was funny.
So he goes out, and we have one of the girls acting as security outside of that door. And we said, don't let anybody in or out unless we say so. Okay, so Clive is like, girls, what's going on? And so we're like, we need to talk to you because we're broke, we don't have no money, and LA is talking about you. Like, we're just going on and on and on. Somebody's already called the NYPD because the other girls are like going all around taking plaques down and everything. And so of course, can you imagine like working? You're like, wait a minute, what's happening right now? Are we getting robbed? And we said, it's not fair. We're selling all these records and we don't have anything to show for it. Like this is not right. Because we thought we got rid of Pebbles, so we straight. No. And so he actually saw how serious that was. Now at this time, the police is there. The police comes in the office. Like two of them. So he was like, because the officer was like, is everything okay? Everything okay? And he was like, he looked at us, and that's when we gave him that look, and he was like, girls, why do we need all the security? And come on, girls. And we're like, okay, then we turned into some sweet little things in front of the cops. And that was pretty much it.
You gotta be kidding me. It just can't be real. It's all laid out, all our expenses.
Broke? I just can't see it. All those videos, all those albums sold. The broke thing, I just don't.
Girl, somebody needs to curb their spending habits for real.
Hey, TLC, it's called a savings account.
First they burn down their homes, now they can't pay their bills. I ain't feeling sorry for them.
Yo, where's their manager? They getting dog for real. Ouch.
Are you on a fast right now? Somebody said you're
Yes,
fasting.
I am.
How long is the fast going to last?
40 days.
Did the Epstein files just expose who took Lisa Left Eye's life? Lisa's death had never sat right with a lot of people right from the jump, with some people claiming that she was taken out by industry higher-ups to cover up all the millions of dollars they stole from her. Lisa went from being in the biggest R&B group at the time to filing for bankruptcy, getting arrested, and literally running to Honduras to stay alive. In fact, just hours before her death, she recorded multiple videos and even did a whole funeral for herself, basically mourning herself before she actually died. Talk about a premonition. Now, as most of y'all know, Lisa lost her life to a fatal car crash on April 25th, 2002, while she was in Honduras for a spiritual retreat. According to reports, the car she was driving plunged into a ravine as she was forced to swerve to avoid oncoming traffic. Although there were 7 other passengers in the car with her at the time, including her brother and sister, Lisa was conveniently the only one who died. There's actually an entire footage of Lisa and her friends in the car with her right before the car crashed, and it's honestly the saddest thing I've seen in my life. You could hear her screaming for her life as the car crashed into the bushes right by the side of the road.
To this day, my girl Lisa, I don't know why she took them shoes of that dead little boy. If you don't know, before she died, she got into an accident and she hit and killed a little boy with the last name Lopez. And if you know, her last name is Lopez. And if you also know, she always felt like there was a deity or some type of spirit following her, trying to kill her. And right after she discussed that too, on her documentary, she died. She hit that little boy and received his shoes. So I truly believe the shoes were cursed.
This story is very creepy, but just follow me on this. The entire world knows what happened to Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC while she was in South America at the Dr. Sabi retreat. Lisa had been going through an incredible spiritual transformation. She lost a ton of weight. She had been praying, fasting, meditating, eating right, eating clean, only organic, healthy things. And she had said in an interview as part of a documentary that she felt like a whole new spiritual awakening. Well, unfortunately, while she was down there, she hit a small child, and I believe the child died. Now, here's where it gets weird. The child that was unalived by Lisa Lopez accidentally, the child's last name was also Lopez, just like hers. And Lisa had been talking to her friends, and she said she felt like something was chasing her, or something was after her, and whatever that thing was came through and caused her to, hit that child, and she felt like that was supposed to be for her. So allegedly, the story goes, she went to the child's parents, in grief, and offered to, pay for the services of the child, and offered to compensate them, for their inconvenience and for the loss of their child. And although no dollar amount could ever take the place, but as a gesture of good faith, she offered to pay the services of the funeral, and also offered to compensate the family. And she also asked for the shoe, the little small shoe of the kid. And she had the shoe in her car. I believe she hung it on her mirror, if I'm not mistaken. I know she had the shoe of the child. I heard that she, had the shoe inside the car. Anyway, for whatever reason, she didn't pay the covering of the burial and the funeral of the parents. And apparently, the parents were furious about that because she reneged on her word. And the mother or the parents were into Santeria and Spanish voodoo. And allegedly the story is the mother put a spell on Lisa Lopez. And we all see what happened after that. So they're saying that this accident wasn't really an accident, it was a spell. Because if you watch that video, it's pretty weird, because it looks like she loses control of the car out of nowhere. It looks like something just grabbed the wheel. I can't post the video on here because they'll ban my account, but research the video and look how she looked like something grabbed the wheel. It brings a whole nother creepy edge to this whole situation, but get in the comments and let's talk about this. Was it a curse, or was it just an accident?
Accident.
What if Obama called a reporter piggy? Oinked at the press like Suey, bitch, you looking kinda piggy. What if Obama tried to shut down the media? CNN in cages, MSNBC on a leash, media's on their knees, yeah.